So our first stop on the tour today, day one, is a honeybee farm.
And we try honey tea.
Yep. Then we walk down to where we get to see where they make coconut candies and rice paper making.
And, if I may, very carefully, why? Because we got here by boat. Because we are on the Mekong River. So it's all sort of very exciting.
You drink much beer, you get drunk. When you spray the smoke, the bee will get drunk.
Thank you.
Where to open the skin by hand to this spy and how to do. Okay. Now let the strong man show you. Oh, do it. In America, Hawaii, golden shell to make.
I didn't know snakes felt like this.
So that was pretty neat. I mean, typical, they're trying to sell you things, but everything was really interesting.
The Mekong Tourist Trio.
Yeah. And the snake at the end was a surprise.
Yeah, I've never held a snake that big before, and the only way I can describe it is that it's a muscle tube.
Muscle tube.
Just a leathery muscle tube.
Yeah, we're off to the next thing. So our next stop has been just a little walk through these gardens and orchards, and we saw jackfruit and durian. Got to try some guava and rose apples, and I don't know what the last thing was called, but they're all very good. And we're having lunch here. Lunch was really good, but it was a lot of fish because fishing's so popular here. So Tristan couldn't eat a lot of it. So if you don't like fish, expect small, light lunches. So we have a bit of free time now. We're in Vien Long. Here we spent about an hour on the boat going down the river.
Self-loading school. Churches being built.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy though.
But nice, a nice little ride. I did a little snooze.
But now we can just walk through the market a little bit. So we made it to our hotel. We spent 4 hours on the bus, which is nothing for us now, but it's pretty comfortable, so that's good. We did go across the river by ferry, which was kind of neat. But yes, there's not much else to say about it. So we've arrived, and it's a pretty nice hotel.
Yeah, the bathroom's not half bad.
No?
Oh, it actually looks pretty nice.
Good, I'm excited for a shower. It feels stinky.
Bonus.
So yeah, we have a couple minutes, and then we're meeting people down in the lobby for dinner. After dinner, we went for a walk down towards the river, passing a Buddhist temple on the way and grabbing an odd jelly and bean dessert called che. We made it to the riverside, where we watched young locals dancing, practicing martial arts, and just having some fun. Underneath the sky crackling with thunder and being lit up with flashes of lightning. Here in the Mekong Delta. Oh. And we just had like a nice continental breakfast up with a really nice view of Cambodia and the river, which was nice to see. And now we're heading down to the bus.
And we're out for the day. What are we doing? Watching the sea.
So we're in a Cham Village right now in the mosque because they're all Muslim in this community, but I wouldn't really call it a village. It's more like a neighborhood.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting to learn about for sure.
Look at those. Should be fun later.
Once we stepped away from the main road, we could understand why this place was considered a village.
Though many people's first introduction to the Cham people come from the defunct ruins along Vietnam's length, maybe most notably the Mai Son complex outside Hoi An, this group of Cham is different than the others. The Cham minority group in the region is a small community of only about 1,000 people. The local Cham do not follow Brahmanism as they do in central Vietnam, but rather are Muslim and follow an old Sunni Islamic faith. Seeing a mosque featuring Arabic script in this region of Vietnam and seeing local women in headscarves weaving scarves and blankets on their looms was a pleasant pocket of cultural identity withstanding the influence of time and technology.
So after the Cham Village, we came to the Lady Temple, and there's no photography inside, but quite the large complex.
The Temple of the Lady of the Realm is a famous temple dedicated to the protector deity Ba Chu Shi. Excusing our pronunciation if you would, located at the foot of Sam Mountain in the Mekong Delta.
Known for many myths and legends in the region, the site is a popular stop for people seeking blessings in travel, business, or general prosperity.
Comprado, we saw that. I don't know if you can see that.
So we're in the Vietnamese Amazon, and very appropriately, it is raining.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is reminiscent of our time in the actual Amazon.
Yeah.
I fell though, so that sucks.
Just fell in the mud.
He doesn't care at all.
We're just getting in now, just checking in, settling into our hotel room here. After lunch, we hung out in some hammocks and relaxed for a little bit, and then jumped on a bus. We've been on the bus all afternoon, and we're just getting in now. Dinner's in a little bit. Apparently, this is sort of exciting, apparently dinner is on a boat on the Mekong Delta. So we're actually both really excited for that. So we are just now finishing our dinner here on the surprise dinner cruise.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting. It's not on the pamphlet. Yeah, it was really good. And I mean, here we are. Look at that. Nice cruising along the river, the Mekong River Delta here. Good morning. Day 3, last day of our trip here. And what are we doing right now, Stace?
We're going to the biggest floating market on the Mekong, or in the Mekong Delta.
Yeah, the Kai Rang floating market. They put their wares up on a big bamboo pole and they show you what they're selling, and it's apparently big and bright and colorful and very different. So, pretty excited for that. We're just getting on the boat right now. Give a glass, seats at the front of the class, like a couple of nerds.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just got some iced coffees. We drink a lot of these. But I bought it from a lady on a boat.
Yeah, that was
Just
cool.
We're just hanging out now in the floating market, going between all the different stalls, and it's pretty cool to see people sort of do their thing, selling their potatoes and watermelons and stuff on the water. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're selling like everything.
Get some bikes. Cycling through the countryside. I'm much worse at doing a selfie video while I ride a bike than I thought I was. Let's see what Stacy's up to. Just doing a little bike ride through the Vietnamese countryside. Oof. Oh, I'm gonna drop this phone. This is riskier than I thought it was, but it's okay, because this is Stacy's phone. It's short and sweet. We were supposed to go see a tree, but the road was blocked. Not just a tree, it's like a 200-year-old tree. It's like all huge, it covers like 1,000 hectares.
That's too bad, but
it's too bad. But it's a nice little...
Riding through the village.
They had an arcade. I wanted to go back and play Pac-Man with them. But yeah, short and sweet, but good. And now we're apparently just gonna come hang out in this garden, and they have like barbecued things like rat and snake and frogs and all that. And that sounds fun and dandy, but
Chicken.
enjoy the plague.
Oh, there's a bone in it. The meat's good though, but there's a bone that chopped me. That's actually pretty good. Eat it. If you just take a nibble. Just a nibble. Good job, baby. Swallow it.
We have finished the delightful cruise down the river after going to the market and then going to the garden and having some fruits and doing the bicycle ride and seeing some rats, and then we've come back eating some rats, and then we come back and now it's lunch. This is the first meal on the tour that we've had that's on us and not inclusive of the tour. At the place they've dropped us off, we picked up one menu and they gave us a different menu. It was like 3 times more expensive, so we're like, ah. So now we are out in the streets close by, seeing what we can find.
He gave up and came back to the expensive restaurant. It's by the river though, so that's nice. So we're done our tour of the Mekong Delta.
3 days later and it's concluding. We're just on our drive back now. I really liked it. Some of the things I really enjoyed about it were being surprised actually. I didn't expect the accommodation to be as nice as it was, or the food to be as nice as it was. And on a few occasions, we were actually surprised and treated to a thing like last night's river cruise for dinner. That's not even on the pamphlet.
Everything just felt like a really good value overall, I think. Especially even with the bicycles where we couldn't go see the tree, but then to make up for that, they let us try some rat for free.
Which Stacey loved because she's a monster.
Whatever. But yeah, it was really fun. And it was so easy because it's a tour and we normally don't do tours.
Yeah, it made it all really like,
relax.
What are we doing now? It doesn't matter. Just go where you're told,
yeah.
And it's good.
The boat rides in general were really nice too, just watching life go by and how people live and everything.
Who doesn't love being on a boat?
Yeah.
But I totally agree. I didn't even think of it saying it that way. I felt like pretty good value. What did we pay? Paid $1.5 million dong each. It's like 75 bucks.
For 3 days.
75 bucks for 3 days, nights, food, everything. I mean, that's
everything was really nice.
Cheaper than our regular budget. Okay, so everything can't be perfect in Wonderland here. What are some things that you didn't like? If you were recommending this to somebody else and you wanted to give them some warnings, what would you say?
Well, kind of going along with the fact that we don't normally do tours, you have to expect that they're going to try and sell you things and take you to places that are not actually authentic. They're set up for tourists. But if you go in with that mindset and just go with it, it's very enjoyable anyway.
Yeah.
Also, half the day was almost driving to the next place. Mornings were busy doing and seeing lots of things, but just expect that you'll be driving for 3 to 4 hours in the afternoon to get to your next location.
My big complaint is that because it was like a whole Mekong Delta tour in 3 days, everything was very quick. So going through the wildlife reserve, it was too short. I wanted more. Same with cycling through the village. I really loved that, but it wasn't long enough. But you gotta go, right? You got things you gotta do, you got places, you got schedules, you got a whole like region to cover in like 3 days. So what this tour did is it left a taste for more in my mouth.
Yeah.
So seeing the Mekong Delta was cool, but it just pointed out that we're not here for long enough. Is it worth it? Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. So hopefully if you're thinking about doing it and you think, do I want to go with the Sinh Tourist into the Mekong Delta, take a look at this video.
Hope they gave you a good impression.
Check it out. We think it's worth it.